What's up, everybody? You're listening to Roundtable Wrestling Radio for January 31st, 2017. I'm Joey924. With me, as always, from Queens, New York.
One and only the buyer.
What is what, PH Michigan?
Still not PH Michigan. It's Sean Lathrop.
The man who originally coined the phrase alternative facts, I might add. Also from Chicago, Illinois.
Laura Phoenix.
And from the Bronx of New York City. God, I hurt myself.
Can you hear me now? Big O.
Unfortunately, we can.
Oh.
But it is not as unfortunate as what I saw last Sunday. And no, I'm not talking about the Royal Rumble. I'm talking about CNN.
At this point, just fuck this whole thing. Let's just set the nuke and go.
You know, I really, truly believe now, more than ever, that Donald Trump didn't run for president and win just because he wanted to be president. I think he wanted this so that he can guarantee that we talk about him on a 24-hour basis. Because every now and then, yeah, I do. I really do. Every now and then we would talk about Trump, but this is a 24-hour cycle of just what this man has done in the last 11 days.
Fuck?
Has anyone destroyed a country in a shorter amount of time?
No. You know what's crazy?
Yes, Harry Truman destroyed a country faster.
I don't think so.
I actually saw a lady that she was tweeting like randomly like for 20 minutes talking about how she voted for Trump. Wow. She voted for Trump, and all of a sudden her husband went to Afghanistan or some shit, and now he can't come back. So now she's all over the place talking about I fucking hate that I even voted for her. She regrets it and this and that. But that's your fucking fault. You didn't fucking vote for it.
And at this point in time, I need to make my cards, and all the cards are going to say for every person that votes for Trump and has the audacity to bitch, all it's going to say is, I fucking told you so.
You know what? You know what's the craziest part about all this whole thing is that at the airports, white women they have scarves on, and they put them around their heads like Muslims. And for the first time in history, people who despised Muslims, keep in mind that we have a history of despising these people, are now joining forces with the Muslims.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's what Donald Trump has done. He's actually inadvertently united people from around the world to hate him. That is true power. Good job, Donald Trump.
True legend.
Yep.
You know, Washington is suing him.
Yeah, but I don't think that's going to come out of that. I don't think that's going to come out of that. He's going to. By the way, this is only the first 11 days. Keep that in mind.
Motherfucker is not wasting no time, man.
He's doing shit every day. He's like a kid at a candy store. He's just picking candy. He's not really going to eat it, but
the problem with this is that he's going to cause. Listen, we were in war with every country of anything, because a lot of countries hate us and shit. But he's making it worse.
Way worse.
Sure. He's
There's
making it worse.
So much war. That's not even going to be funny.
He understands that you doing what you're doing without fucking taking baby steps and trying to make it in a way where everybody's okay with it. You're just jumping on everything and cutting people from coming into the country right away. You're pissing people off.
Even people that have green cards are having problems.
People in our country are going to be so fucking frustrated that they're going to do shit on purpose just to show Trump, hey, look, us Americans could fuck you over, and we could bomb the fucking buildings also. What are you going to do then?
Yeah, it's going to be bad. It's going to be bad. I don't know what's worse, that or what happened the last couple of hours between WWE.
Oh my god!
Honestly,
hold on. You really thought it was that bad?
I'll tell you why I thought it was that bad. Technically speaking, the Royal Rumble wasn't bad in a.
It was bad. It was bad.
It wasn't bad in a start to finish sense, but if you go by the fact that this was the 30th anniversary, that it was in the Alamo Dome, and that it was the most anticipated Royal Rumble of all time, on that, I say it was the most disappointing. By the way, I'm not going to say that, like other people, that it was the worst Royal Rumble, because that's stupid. There's been way, way worse Royal Rumbles than that. People judge things because it's recent. You know what I mean? They're forgetting that there's 29 other Royal Rumbles that you could clearly judge. So there's
Problem-
been way worse than that.
that I have. I don't know if you want to join. I mean, if you want to get into the Rumble first. So
No. No. Let's start.
No.
Let's start with NXT because I have something to say about
Okay,
NXT.
that's what I'm saying.
Damn, I didn't even see it. That's the
And I
only
put
thing.
that-
I haven't had the opportunity to. I saw a couple matches and I was like, nope.
That
I
only
gotta.
But
Well,
that
you
only
know-
shows where NXT is at this.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say. But we said that last week though that it didn't feel like, hey, I got to watch NXT this time. And watching it proved it. Because it didn't have the same oomph that NXT has had in the past. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Again, when people
Listen, they rated their talent, man. Like I said this when it happened the same week. It does not feel like the same NXT of last year. I don't think it will ever feel that way.
I don't think that's an excuse though, because they still have great talent. They still could produce good matchups, and they chose not to.
But the thing is, too, is everybody I know that actually had the opportunity to watch it. I haven't had the opportunity to watch it because I've been sick and I had to work and the whole 9 yards. So that's the only reason why I haven't had the opportunity to sit down and really watch it like I want to. But everybody I know that's watched it said it was a really, really good show. So I'm actually looking forward to sitting down.
I heard a lot of good
okay.
things about the Oscar match, and I heard a lot of good things about the Nakamura and Bobby Roode match.
That
I don't
was
know.
absolutely, by the way, exceptional. That was probably my favorite match of the entire weekend, to be perfectly honest.
Which one?
The Nakamura versus Bobby Roode.
I give that to you. Yeah.
That was
You
old
tell me-
school
you tell
to the
me-
letter.
Hold on, you telling me that AJ Styles, the match of the
Exactly.
decade
I hope
against
that's
John
not-
Cena,
Yes.
match, the one that
You're
they so
wrong.
desperately trying to overshine Kenny Omega. You
Yeah.
telling me that it's better than
Again,
that?
Once
Yeah.
again,
No way. I don't buy that.
I'm agreeing.
at all.
once again, people. Well, first of all, Byron, did you watch the Nakamura and Bobby?
Yeah, I
Roode?
watched it.
Okay.
Of
Okay.
course. What?
Just asking. I don't believe it.
I watched it.
I really
I
wanted to
watched
stretch
it.
it because WWE is really, really going out their way to try to outshine that Kenny Omega match because
Yeah.
They're
really
not going out
since when they started saying match of the decade, one of the greatest matches you ever seen, they never used to say things like this until
I
people
know.
started talking about the
I
Omega
agree.
match.
I
Fucking
agree.
Michael Cole says it all the fucking time about
No,
every
but we're
fucking.
talking about they started quoting newspapers and all these
Yeah.
different websites. Like, come
They
on,
are.
they never
They
did
are.
that.
I honestly don't think
that's
that.
one of, by the way, that's one of my major pet peeves about the era that we're in, where people exaggerate, whether it be the Kenny Omega situation or
I
the
mean-
John Cena, AJ Styles. People exaggerate to the fullest extent these days. You cannot say because you just watched the match that it's the greatest match in the decade or whatever.
Yeah.
Dude, there's been better matches in the last 5 or 6 months that I can pull out of my ass to tell you that was a better match. But whatever, to each their own.
But to me, that was like a low blow because Kenny Omega didn't sign.
Exactly.
Right.
Let me. Wait. But wait. I'm still gonna hold on to what I said before about the Omega match. I thought it was an okay match. You get what I'm saying? I saw that match fully,
Over
and I saw the AJ
Over
Styles
Judge-
match with John Cena, and I also saw the Nakamura match with Bobby Roode. And I'm gonna tell you by far, not because I'm a WWE mark or anything, but I saw all three of them, and I really honestly can say that the AJ Styles and the John Cena has so many people fucking watch that match. Everybody was constantly on their feet, yelling, screaming. They were doing all types of shit.
They
Yes,
did the same thing for Nakamura.
yeah, but
Yeah,
crowd reaction was totally different with the.
No,
with
no,
we're
dude.
talking about match wise
No,
though. Match wise, because in my
No.
personal opinion, I thought the
Match-wise,
Reigns and the
that-
Owens match was better. Honestly,
What?
that's my opinion. But
Oh,
I thought Kevin
Yeah,
Owens
even-
against
yeah.
Roman Reigns was a better
Yeah.
match.
Yeah,
It definitely
we
was.
all- we all have
better
our
than
different-
AJ Styles
better than what?
than what we saw. John Cena against AJ
Yeah.
Styles. It was a better match. It was a better
No.
match from start
Wow.
to hold on from start to
I
ending.
feel-
It was entertainment.
I'm going to agree with
Well,
Joe.
That's my point about the each their own.
I'm going to agree with Big Onion on that one. And the main reason is one of the things I knew going in that AJ John Cena match that they were trying to definitely overtake the Omega Okada match, just looking at what they were doing. But why the hell am I focusing
think
on John
they did.
Cena's veiny shoulder the entire match? I don't know.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that last part, but
In the
I was gonna say, I
beginning,
broke
David
up really bad.
Yeah,
I
Otunga
understand what Sean was
said.
trying to say. He's saying that he started slow and then.
Right.
No, I didn't say that at all.
Just like the way.
I said the commentary was so dreadful that I didn't care about the match. David
What did y'all
Otunga's
say?
first line. Oh.
That's why you have to legitimately just tune out the commentary.
Wait. Before we get all over the place, let's just focus on one thing. Let's go to NXT first. Number one, the Asuka match. I don't know what people are saying about it. What I can tell you is, from my perspective, not on the level of what Asuka has meant to that NXT. I didn't like the match particularly going in. I also didn't like it coming out. The main thing that people wanted to see, and you could hear it from the crowd, which was a pretty decent crowd for particular matches. That one in particular was Nikki Cross and Asuka, and every time they would start to get into it, the other two girls would interfere and do something where they would keep them separate. Then they had one table spot where they put Nikki Cross through a table, which was a cool spot, but essentially taking Nikki Cross completely out of the match, which left two girls against Asuka. Not very creative, and also the ending of the match was also a little blah. I did not like the execution whatsoever. Asuka could do way better than that, I'm sure. Based on, I don't know that much about Nikki Cross, but I was very into her and Asuka about to get it on. I actually don't know much about Nikki Cross, but I'm like, I want to see this matchup because it looks interesting. It looks like she could take Asuka. I like stuff like that. But they completely went away from that, and they went to the two pretty girls. I don't know much about them either. And Asuka dominated, of course, the two girls. And it wasn't really much of a challenge. I didn't feel that they did anything creative with that at all. It was a big disappointment. I'll tell you one thing. What impressed me more than that was the Authors of Pain and DIY, which I expected to be a clusterfuck, was actually a 10 times better match than I thought it was going to be, and a 10 times better match than the Asuka match. And that's honest to God's truth. I really did not think Authors of Pain were going to pull out that kind of a match, but they pulled out a really good match. Kudos to Gargano and Ciampa for that, because they did an excellent job. Unfortunately,
they've always been doing an excellent job. I actually didn't see. I have.
But to do it, to do it against two big guys like that.
Yeah,
exactly.
I didn't see the match though, but I automatically thought those two fat guys was gonna gas and just
No, they
just
didn't.
looked like two fat pieces of shit. But I heard it was a pretty good match. So
they put on a decent. I like their entrance. They actually convinced me that this could work. As a old school throwback dominating team with the masks and everything. They did a really good job with the Authors of Pain. They put them over and it changed my mind completely about them. Totally changed my mind. Now, of course, I wanted Gargano and Ciampa to win, but so be it. These guys won. They won the Dusty Rhodes Cup. They're building these guys, and it's clear that they're going to be the tag team version of Roman Reigns. In other words, WWE is going to go full on with these guys, and it's not going to matter whether they get booed or not. Just like Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns, as I've explained 1,000 times, for some god-awful reason, WWE is absolutely enamored with this guy, and no matter what the crowd does, they fully make Roman Reigns into this cyborg of indestruction. And I'll tell you the best example of that is that fucking Kevin Owens gets a brass knuckles, hits Roman Reigns with the Superman punch at full speed. Now, keep in mind that William Regal used to win matches with this very move, and Regal is not even the size of Kevin Owens, just psychology-wise. Owens hits this guy, and Reigns kicks out as if it was nothing. No big deal that you had a brass knuckles. Why? Fucking Roman Reigns is Superman, and he cannot be destroyed, apparently. Right. Even with brass knuckles. Or a shotgun, or a fucking axe, or whatever.
Well, I think there's been so much craziness going on, especially with, you already mentioned the power of the punch, essentially.
Yeah.
The frog splash off the turnbuckle to the outside through a table. No problem there. The Stone Cold Stunner, put some stink on it, son. No problem there.
Which was beautifully executed, by the way, for Kevin Owens. It was great.
I don't know how beautifully executed, but
it was beautifully executed. Come on, for a guy at his size, it was great.
Beautifully executed?
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
Phenomenal.
I don't care what Stone Cold said in his tweet. But go ahead.
No, he was more saying it because he didn't get the pin on him. So, I mean,
you liked it?
He said, "Put some stink in it, kid."
Yeah.
I wish I could
Exactly.
tell you that,
That's exactly what I thought, by the way, and I didn't even know that Austin said that.
Yeah, he only mostly said it because Roman kicked out. Otherwise, he would have been like, "There you go, son."
Exactly. But Austin's right, though. Austin is 100% right. He didn't like it when Cena did it either.
You know what it is? Like, me comparing the two main events, the two world title matches, the only reason why people is not talking more about Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens is because we've seen it 1,001 times. If we and compare John Cena and AJ Styles, that they haven't fought for 6 months. It felt like the big match feeling. That's the only reason why. But I guarantee you, if this was the first time Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns would have fought, the crowd would have went. They would definitely choose that match over the other one.
I disagree. You know why I didn't like, or I should say rather, because it wasn't a bad match, but I can't say that it was nowhere near John Cena and AJ because.
No, I didn't say nowhere near, but it was
a very gimmicky match. It was a very gimmicky match. The stack, the chairs.
Well, that's the thing is that as it being a no disqualification match, right. I'm really glad they fucking did it because
it's so stupid. It's Jericho's hanging. So stupid.
Well, I mean, I was waiting on some other stuff. I was waiting for him to drop the U.S. belt down to him, and just a whole 9 yards. But he didn't do it, and I was like, okay, something else is happening here. And then there's Braun Strowman.
Yeah. Which
totally confused me about it. To me, honestly, I know we're not gonna fast forward it, but. What was the point of having Braun Strowman come in there, beat up Roman Reigns, but then but for the ending of the day, him to tease the match between Undertaker for WrestleMania? I mean, I don't know.
Oh no, but you know what? I didn't understand it at first when they first did it, but when they showed that footage on Raw, I was like, wow, that is if they planned that is one of the best executed plans I've seen in a long time. I don't personally think they planned it that way because they're not smart, but. They sure as hell made it look like they planned it.
But when it made more sense, like if Roman Reigns would have came out and like maybe eliminated Braun Strowman instead of Baron Corbin out of all people. Come on.
Let's not fast forward because I have so much to
say. And counter argument, I don't care how the hell Roman lost. The fact is Kevin Owens is still champ, so I'll take it.
Yeah,
exactly.
But two things are happening right there. Owens cannot win a match by himself, which is it's very against what he was all about before he got that Universal title. Owens was about winning matches on his own, no matter how much of a bad guy he was. Now he cannot win a match without Jericho or Braun or fucking Brass Knuckles or whatever. I don't like that because it doesn't make Owens look strong. To me, he's a weaker champion than AJ. You can say what you want about AJ as a bad guy, but he fought those matches on his own and won those matches on his own. You know what I mean? Owens is a big, mountain of a man. He should not be relying on, gimmicks or friends or whatever. Like, to me, that made Roman look so much better than Kevin, even though Kevin won. Way better. It made Roman look unbelievable. It took a guy that was hanging from the cage. It took a fucking mountain of a Terminator like Braun Strowman to finally put Roman Reigns down because Kevin Owens couldn't do it by himself. Come on. Man.
And you know what's even worse?
At the same time, though, it's like you just cannot, Everybody admits straight up that Roman Reigns is fucking Superman.
Too much.
And you want to know what made it even worse? When Kevin Owens was practically begging Chris Jericho to help him in the match on Monday. They just really like making Kevin Owens look like a twat.
He wasn't like that in NXT. He wasn't like that at the beginning of his WWE run. It makes Owens look weaker, man. I'm sorry. It makes that championship
man.
weak.
As far as I know, the more I keep seeing Roman Reigns out there, the more fucking hatred we have towards the guy, and it just doesn't make any sense for them to keep putting him out there like that. It makes no sense. And we're gonna talk about it later, what happened later. But I'm just saying, you keep pushing him down our throats, man.
I told you.
How much more do you want the crowd to fucking accept this shit?
I told you.
How does it? Vince
they don't care. They don't care.
Nobody wants to see this shit.
They don't care.
Listen, it was so bad that they got a compilation somewhere of a bunch of fans upset because they were live. Like they were live. I'm sorry.
But all I'm saying is, and I'm agreeing with you, Joey, about the whole brass knuckles thing. why use that and then fucking this guy kicks out of that shit?
I read that somewhere that somebody brought that up as a really good point. They said they could have accepted anything in the match, pretty much. But when the brass knuckles came into play, which was a big deal that Jericho handed Owens the brass knuckles, they said
that should be the finisher.
William Regal knocked people out and did not have near the strength of Kevin Owens. Just from a psychological standpoint, it made no fucking sense.
Yeah, it's just I don't know.
It made Owens look very weak, in my opinion. Very, very weak in that.
I don't really see what they're thinking with.
They love Roman. They love Roman.
I have no idea why.
If you watch that 24 thing, I mean, you can see Vince has a thing for Roman, and like I said, they don't care. They don't care about what the fans are.
I said this a while ago that Cena was the most hated guy at one point, but Roman Reigns has taken that title from Cena. Nobody hates Cena much as they used to because Roman is the most hated guy at this point.
But let me tell you something. Even when the people were on Cena's case, there was always a amount of respect there.
Of course, that's true too. That is also true.
They don't have that for Roman. They don't have any respect for this guy.
I mean, listen, the guy goes out there and he performs his ass off. Yes, that's good. But he's not liked regardless of what he's doing out there. No matter what he does, I don't give a fuck. And I don't give a fuck about how many times he's out there performing his ass. I don't care. I don't want to see it no more. I don't.
That's always a bad thing, by the way. When you're like, man, he performs his ass off, but I really, really don't care.
Don't care.
That's a bad thing. Because when John Cena was doing it, we still, at the end of the day, said, man, but he wrestles his ass off. But we meant it.
We respected the guy for doing his...
Exactly. People have respect.
Especially when he got the U.S. title. Man, he's had the greatest matches of his career with that. I don't know if you guys remember, but he performed his ass off when he was carrying that title. And he made that title more important.
And also John Cena was a master of being able to take the boos and sometimes on occasion would turn them into cheers. I mean, Cena has done that.
And actually played off of it. You got Roman Reigns who comes out with this mean face, who's trying to ignore the fact that they booing the shit out of him, act like he don't hear it. When you got John Cena playing off the crowd.
And you know what the worst part is? If you watch the 24 from they did last year's WrestleMania and their new documentary,
Roman's good.
It is very good, actually. I personally, even though I enjoyed the hell out of it, I still don't like them showing that much, but whatever. Roman says something that will always win in his favor. And what he says at the end is, yeah, I know they don't like me, but look at everybody in the crowd. They were all standing. And Roman has a point. If people really want, and I've said this for a long, long time, if people really, really want to make something different happen with Roman, they either have to get up and leave the building when he's wrestling, because you cannot ignore that. You cannot ignore that.
I know we're going to get into it, but it kind of did happen. So... yeah.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, if you see 52,000 people leave the building, that's something you cannot ignor. You cannot ignore stuff.
Yeah, I don't know what
people left the building. You saying?
No, but Roman always Roman and WWE are always able to say whether they're cheering him, whether they're booing him. There's people standing and reacting.
Yeah, they were standing reacting because they thought Samoa Joe was going to come out. That's why.
The problem with that reaction that he's getting, it's okay to say that if it was once in a while he got that, but he's getting it because nobody fucking likes him. That's why.
I understand that, but he does have a point, and WWE has a point with the fact that they're still reacting.
If that's the case, then they wouldn't be embarrassed about it and fucking try to
they're not
lower the value. No, and try to lower the value and put fucking cheers instead of letting the boos go out and letting people fucking.
But they can't editing fans' reactions, acting like they're happy. They're really happy that Roman lost.
But they can't do that for the live crowd, and the live crowd knows.
But they have done it during the live crowd.
Dude, they edited a reaction from a fan. They put a happy face. It looked like he was excited because Roman Reigns won. Meanwhile, that was the face he made when he lost the belt.
I get that, but what I'm saying is that when you watch a Royal Rumble, we hear the reactions. They're not dubbing that. They're not dubbing the live reactions on Raw. or
they did it at WrestleMania. So.
Yeah, they've done it before.
After the fact. I'm talking about
on our TV. On our TV, they can lower it. Yes.
Okay, what did you hear at the Royal Rumble? Booze, right? I'm talking about live pay-per-views in the moment. People are booing the shit out of Raw. How do we know that he's getting booed? Because we can hear it, right?
I guarantee you he got booed way more than what we probably heard on TV. I guarantee you.
You might be right, but he's still getting... Then that's even... I don't even know what to say if that's the case. because it's coming out clear in my fucking TV. But let me go back to NXT for a second. Again, there's not a lot to write about that show. Ty Dillinger and Eric Young had a so-so match. Eric Young, I was very surprised, won, which shows first of all, when Eric Young won, I thought about what we talked about last week, which was will Ty Dillinger show up at number 10, and he did show up at number 10. But to me, it had no impact because he lost to Eric Young the night before.
Yeah.
Once they eliminated him, it was over. They didn't care.
It got like a second pop. Yeah.
And he even actually...
Which is what it was. Because here's the thing, guys. If anybody else had come out at that number 10 spot, they would have booed. It was that pure and simple. The thing is, though, and this is so funny because it says, look on my Facebook. I actually kept track. I do it every year. I keep track of the order they come in and the order of eliminations. This year I added on the times if they were over or under the 2-minute mark. Right. Ty Dillinger came out a minute after 2 minutes. 3 minutes later.
Of course.
And all of a sudden it was like boom, and everybody didn't even think it was the number 10 spot.
But wait a minute, we're going to get to the Rumble in 1 second. I just want to say for the record, again, like I said, Ty Dillinger, Eric Young, so-so match. What else happened at NXT, Sean? That was it, right?
I can hit it up real quick. The big thing with NXT was the Authors of Pain winning the tag team titles.
That was okay.
Ty Dillinger and Eric Young, Roderick Strong and Andrade Almas, which that was actually...
That was a pretty stiff match. That was a pretty stiff match, yeah.
And Nakamura pretty much selling his leg as if he just died.
Well, before we get to that part, I personally loved... by the way, something else that we talked about last week, I specifically said, what does Bobby Roode need for his entrance? Girls. And what did Bobby Roode have? Lots of girls. That was an entrance, right? Bobby Roode, in my opinion, once again won the best entrance of the night over Nakamura. Nakamura wasn't that far behind, though, because he had a pretty cool entrance. But I personally loved this match because just the beginning of the match, the psychology that both men brought to the table, Bobby Roode and Nakamura are masters of doing that. I thought it was very well orchestrated, very old school. I loved every aspect of that match. And like I said, WWE really, really likes Bobby Roode. I thought it was a possibility that he was going to win the title. I wasn't for sure because I thought maybe if Nakamura lost, he would be in the Rumble, but obviously because of the leg situation. But I personally loved that match. Really, really good stuff. And Bobby Roode, in my opinion, shined brighter than he has ever shined in his career, which is, something that I knew that if Bobby Roode got to the WWE, that this is the kind of Bobby Roode that we were going to see, and this is exactly the kind of Bobby Roode that we're getting, is the old school throwback, robes, females being the best, has an incredible entrance theme, can wrestle in the ring, has several different finishers. I love it. Bobby Roode was amazing, and to me, one of the guys that are not getting talked about enough about the weekend, because I think Royal Rumble and the way that the Rumble went overshadowed Bobby Roode's moment. But Bobby Roode had an amazing moment. I mean, don't you think it's grand, Byron, that this guy, another guy from TNA, is shining that fast, that quick?
I'm happy for AJ. I'm happy for fucking Bobby Roode, man. Those are the two guys.
Samoa Joe.
Samoa Joe. But these are the two guys that should have been the face of TNA 100% no matter what. You should have kept it.
But for a little while, Bobby Roode was.
He was, but what happened? I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know what the hell happened.
He went back to
he went down. Then he teamed up with the Cowboy, and he got lost in the shuffle. And then I don't know what the fuck happened after that. I totally lost interest in the guy at that point. Same thing with AJ. I mean, they had his ups and downs with AJ, but he never shined the way he shined in the WWE. Sorry, he never had that.
I think Bobby Roode is known for the short amount of time that he's been in NXT more so than any time in his career.
Yeah,
that's what I really believe. And I think it's only the beginning because I think Bobby Roode is going to be major in that company if they stick with Bobby Roode.
I'm glad. I'm actually glad that Triple H is the guy behind what's going on with NXT because I can see Vince maybe not doing what he's doing for these guys.
Right.
So I'm glad that Triple H is running it at that.
I can see Vince
the opportunity to Bobby Roode.
I can see Vince liking Bobby Roode because he is a throwback.
I could also see it, but at the same time, Vince is. Look at the things we saw on just, I don't know. There's something about him. I think is he's just really like I don't know. He's lost it, man. I don't know what the fuck he's thinking on these things.
Very quickly.
That's why I don't trust him on things. I don't trust him on a lot.
Yeah, I can hear that. Very quickly though, because we have to talk about the Rumble specifically. But anybody like the Neville and Mr. Dancy guy?
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because I wanted to talk about that.
Oh my god!
I mean, I like the fact that Neville won.
It was far from what I expected it to be. I really thought Neville was going to shine, but jeez.
Yeah, I want to say this real quick. Neville does a great fucking heel. He plays a great heel. He should have been the heel from the get go. Yes. He was on the main roster, right? He should have been that guy. What they didn't capitalize that night is their freaking maneuvers. Like it was just a really slow pace, very boring, putting hole.
And it's a pay-per-view. You thought they were like, yo, Neville, you're gonna do everything you did last year. You're gonna do everything. Forget what we said a couple months ago. You're gonna lay it all on the line and fucking headlocks and all these moves. And it was like, what the hell is this?
Exactly.
The cruiserweight was supposed to be more entertaining, more jumping around, more flipping, flopping, and not what they were doing. What they were doing was so boring.
You know what's funny about that match is that when you saw the video package was all about Neville flying and doing the red arrow and Rich Swann doing his moves. People in my house were like, "Wow, I'm actually excited about this match because of the video package." Too. And then the match happens, and I'm like, "What in the hell?" Like it wasn't bad, but from the video package perspective, it did not live up to what I thought it was going to be at all.
What about the sequence of moves they did in the beginning? They did a couple flips, and I'm thinking, yeah, it's about to pick up, and then Neville does a headlock on him, and I'm like,
what I don't understand,
he just killed that little momentum I just had that moment.
What I don't understand is if they know that the cruiserweight is on such a bad turn at this point, why don't you try to turn it up and try to make it so entertaining? Because Royal Rumble is Royal Rumble. Everybody's tuning in to this fucking show. What the fuck was he doing? The headlock.
Exactly.
I didn't understand it.
We're going to do 3 flips and we're going to do 3 hours of
my brother. I was actually here with my brother watching the fucking pay-per-view.
But let me tell you.
I know, and I'm telling him, listen, give these guys, because he's telling me also, man, I don't give a shit about these guys. When they come out, it's so boring. He walks away, whatever. And I said, no, Neville is good, man. You got to watch. Neville is going to really entertain the crowd right now. I'm sure he's going to put on the performance of his lifetime. He's going to win that title. He's sitting there, and I'm looking at him, and I'm like, I can't believe I just said all this shit. There's nothing going on.
It's the same thing in my house. And I was embarrassed, to be honest.
I was embarrassed for saying that because I was really pushing for it. And then it made me look like a fucking idiot. Like, what the fuck was I talking about?
And it didn't help that the crowd did absolutely no reaction to the match. That just definitely didn't help.
My father was so excited
to react for it.
None.
The same thing that OJ said when Swann did that flip in the beginning. My father really got excited because he loves the cruiserweights because of the Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero and all that. And I was like, oh man, he's really gonna see something because Swann can go and Neville can go. I've seen Neville in NXT have some of the best matches. We forget about Neville's matches in NXT, but the guy before Baylor and before Bobby Roode and all those guys, Neville was the guy.
Yeah, he had match of the first time NXT won match of the year was him and Sami Zayn.
Exactly, and I'm like, oh man, Neville's really gonna like go off, and I was horrified, man. I was literally horrified about what was happening because nothing was fucking happening. I was happy that he won the title. Don't get me wrong, but I was like, when is this shit gonna be over?
So hold on, so that's the first match we're gonna talk about. We ain't gonna talk about Bayley.
Yeah, well, that's what I was gonna say next. What was worse than Neville and Shawn was Bayley and Charlotte, who
I don't even know what happened. I just no comment.
This really, honestly, in all sincerity, shocked me because, again, the same situation with Neville. Bayley and Charlotte, we know from NXT and from the past that they can go. I thought the build-up that they were doing with Bayley and Charlotte was going to be the spectacular match, and Charlotte beats her in a much easier fashion than I'd ever seen Charlotte beat anyone, to be honest. Bayley was not even competitive in that match. I don't even know what to call that, but it was just Charlotte going in there, Bayley doing maybe one or two things, and Charlotte winning the match. That was it.
Now how crazy
I was blown away, man.
I was not. Listen, I was never behind. I was never behind this at all. I think everybody knows this. And I didn't even bother watching.
I wasn't either. I tried to give it a chance.
I was.
No, I never, because there was no interest for me to watch it because I think Bayley has lost her momentum. I said that before.
Yes.
And I listen. The moment that match came on, I watched Charlotte's entrance, but then I just didn't care. I turned away from it. And I was on my computer. I just didn't care.
I was so I thought.
And then it was the opening match too, man. That's just like what a way to open that match. Like just Bayley just get.
Yeah. Well, that's true. I really thought that they were going to shut everybody up. Actually, that's what I thought. I genuinely thought everybody that had their reservations about the match that they were going to prove us all wrong, and that they were going to go out there and tear it down and all that. And that did not happen. I don't understand why the build-up that they had for Charlotte to just easily beat Bayley the way she did. And then it was like it was somewhat of a cool way, like doing the natural selection on the apron, but again, it wasn't that much of a fight for Charlotte. Charlotte's had better matches, with jobbers, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I was really disappointed, man. I unlike Byron and I really did think that Bayley and Charlotte was not only going to do well, but I thought it had the potential of being the match of the night. That's how far I was going into it. And I was just like, wow, man. And that was, like I said, that was the first match. And I was like, okay, this is not a good start to this thing. And it just...
Why was it the first match, too?
And it just progressed from there. And here's the other thing before we get to the actual Royal Rumble. Here's the other thing that bothers me. This was in the Alamo Dome. I don't know how many. I don't know if you could look this up. How many people were in '97?
Oh, I can do that. Yeah.
In my opinion, I thought 52,000 was very low for what WWE could do in the Alamo Dome because I know for sure that the Alamo Dome.
I got it. 2017's Royal Rumble, 52,020 people. 1997's Royal Rumble, 60,477.
Damn, for that boring shit, and they were there. Wow.
And you know what's interesting? you know what? But you know what's interesting about that is that people will say, "Well, that's because Austin and Brett. Austin wasn't Austin at that time."
Definitely.
So you cannot point at Austin.
People didn't return to this.
But you know why people went there? Because it's WWE. So wisdom would tell you that this is the Alamo Dome. And by the way, this is a Royal Rumble that we knew for sure. We had Brock, we had Goldberg, we had Undertaker, we had John Cena, we had AJ. 52,000 seemed low to me for that amount of stars, and also the potential people that could have been there that people thought were going to be there. So think about that. So 52,000.
I mean, the only thing, because I'm actually looking into this a little bit, the only thing that may help out the 97 compared to 2017, They actually had quite a few matches and entrance to the Royal Rumble from AAA during the whole event.
That's true.
So they
also the main component.
Yeah, a bunch of middle-aged veterans, man. I remember.
Well, these guys were like in their prime at the time, like Perro Aguayo Jr.
It was like
the guy.
2 or 3 of them that was like kind of
definitely.
Yeah.
But the main component of that, one main component of the '97 Rumble, and the reason I believe that it drew a lot of people was a Hall of Famer by the name of Shawn Michaels, who happened to be from San Antonio, Texas, and also wrestling for the world title. So I think exactly. I think that drew a lot. By the way, they had a major storyline from even before Survivor Series. Actually, even before that, because Sid, I think, betrayed Shawn after WrestleMania 11, and they had an on and off again, on again feud sort of. But from Survivor Series to Rumble, they had a major thing going on between those two. And Shawn Michaels was he was in his prime at that time, and Shawn was a draw at that time. To see. So I think being in San Antonio, people went out to see Shawn Michaels, which again, if you think about this year, we did have Shawn Michaels. We had, and again, all the other names that I just mentioned, 52,000 is very underwhelming as far as I'm concerned. But
listen, this year we have Mark Henry, all right?
Exactly. And he is from Texas.
Mark Henry was there too, though, in '97.
That's true.
Yeah, look at that.
Just for some fun trivia.
They tell me the return of Mark Henry didn't fill those fucking butts in the season.
Just for some fun trivia, the final 4 for the '97 Rumble were Stone Cold, Bret Hart, The Undertaker, and Fake Diesel.
Yeah. A.K.A. Kane. So we've obviously talked about the matches. Obviously, John Cena and AJ, I thought was amazing. Really amazing. I thought it was their best match.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed the submission.
It was a really good match.
Yeah, really good match.
And I don't know about.
I like that John Cena had to do several FUs to get the job done.
It made AJ look great.
I laughed really hard. It made AJ look like a little kid, man. It was honestly, it just looked. It looked like just like ragged.
Listen, let me tell you something about that match. I like the fact that AJ and Cena put on a performance where they both look unstoppable to each other, and they were trying to outdo each other. They tried to put on the finishers, they couldn't do it. Cena doing the finisher at the end twice, the way he did it was so perfect to end. I mean, listen, I was upset. Yeah, I was upset that he lost it. I mean, obviously, right? I was gunning for fucking AJ to win, but they fucking went out there. They performed a hell of a match, and the way they ended it was perfect because it made AJ Styles like that guy he couldn't fucking beat. They had to take him to fucking do 2 AAs on him to fucking beat him.
Well, and one FU up the top rope, by the way.
Right, and it was the way he did the second one, man. It was just,
right. It was the way he did it. It was the way he did it that made it look like
it was funny.
AJ's unstoppable.
Now, Byron hit it on the head. I knew John Cena was going to win. I mean, that was almost guaranteed from the moment that they set up the match and the way Cena was talking. Not to mention the fact that the tying of the 16, and also the biggest aspect of it all, WrestleMania season. I told you, when it comes to WrestleMania season, everybody else takes a back seat.
Now, wait. But before you jump to that, right? If he doesn't go into Mania with that title, then it was fucking pointless to do it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's not going into WrestleMania.
He's not going to Mania with that title.
It's possible, but I don't think
he's losing the Elimination Chamber, bro.
I know, but that's why I'm bringing it up. That's why I'm saying it. If he doesn't go into Mania with that title, I think it was a pointless fucking thing to do.
Bro, but let's be honest. Yeah, you're right. It is pointless. But let's be honest, man. At this point, since it's done, I really don't want to see Randy Orton against John Cena. I really honestly.
Wait, we're not going to see that.
I listen.
Wait.
I'm just saying, like, let's just say it was some last-minute booking, and they say, you know what, John, you're gonna win, and then they regret it. They're gonna have to do this because they know nobody's gonna want to watch that.
I would have preferred seeing at this moment a really big fucking moment at WrestleMania with AJ Styles and Cena for that belt.
Yes.
And you could have given him the 16 win then with that title. Exactly. But if you're going to tell me that he's going to fucking go beat AJ now, get the 16, and then fucking lose it in the next pay-per-view or before...
How do you know for sure that Cena's going to lose it? I'm just asking.
if he does not make it to Mania, I think it was the most pointless thing to do to AJ, because what was the purpose of doing that? It was just to put the 16 on it.
But Byron, this is not the first time. Wait a minute, but this is not the first time in the Royal Rumble that's happened.
But my point is, you're saying that
if you remember at the Royal Rumble, Rock took CM Punk's streak.
Right. But I'm just saying,
but CM Punk kept the belt to WrestleMania, though. At least, I mean, the idea.
No, but he had the streak, though.
He ended the streak, but he kept it to WrestleMania. That's what Byron's saying. I mean, John Cena beating AJ and then losing it in his very first title defense, like 20 days later.
No, all I'm saying is that when it comes to January to April, WWE has a certain pattern, and they follow that pattern every year. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that. I agree with Byron. First of all, you think I want AJ to lose? Hell no, I don't want AJ to lose. I think he should have had a longer title reign than CM Punk, to be honest.
I honestly think, like I said, if he go into Mania with that belt, I think it was just pointless to do to AJ. They could have had that freaking moment at Mania.
And even though, by the way, The Rock went into WrestleMania with the title, it still, to me, was pointless to take it away from CM Punk, that streak. He could have had a longer streak. You gave it to a guy who happened to be passing by the building on his way to another movie, and they said, "Hey, you want to be the champion for a couple of months?" Sure. That was pointless. That was pointless to me.
Couple of months.
At least John,
like over a year.
No, he had it from January to March or April or whatever.
God, that felt like a long time.
But
the one you're thinking of is Brock.
Yeah, but at least.
I was thinking about the build-up between him and Rock. I mean, John Cena.
But at least John Cena is a company guy, and we know he'll be there the next week. You couldn't say that about The Rock. So I don't think it's as pointless that Cena beat AJ as pointless as it was for The Rock to beat CM Punk.
Let me tell you why it's pointless. Because fucking AJ's been doing such a great job. He's been on a fucking roll.
I agree with you.
His ass off.
But you telling me that The Rock wasn't worth beating a guy who almost had the belt for 2 years? That was way worse.
Listen, all I'm saying is I just think that Cena better go into fucking Mania with that belt. That's all.
Yeah.
Can we talk about all the surprises that the Royal Rumble gave us? Oh yeah, I forgot it was.
Yeah.
Let's get into the Royal Rumble now. Finally.
It was the matches, right? It was just John Cena and AJ.
And then it was the Rumble, I think.
The only other one that's really worth mentioning is the tag team title match with the club winning the belts.
They did not put on the pay-per-view, by the way, which I don't understand, but they put that shitty Cruiserweight Championship. Okay.
Right.
I didn't even know it started at 7 o'clock. I thought it was going to start at 8 o'clock.
No, I'm not talking about the pre-show. I'm talking about the actual Royal Rumble.
The actual card, we covered all the card.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
So going.
Yeah. By the way, almost we called everything that happened at the Royal Rumble. I think we called Anderson and Gallows winning.
I got the list still from last week. The only person called the list
of Lathrop.
Drink it in, man.
It's okay. I was pretty much right on everything.
I'm gonna give you the full score, not counting the final four because I was the closest on the final four.
With the exception of the Rumble.
With the exception of the Rumble,
NXT, who got everything with NXT and the Rumble before the Rumble actual.
I got the full score for everything. With the exception
I got my ass beat. I know that.
With the exception of the Rumble, I had the least amount with 4. If you count the final 4, then I would have had 7 instead because I had 3 of the final 4 right.
Yeah, Sean was close with the final 4 for sure.
But outside of that, I had 4 matches right. Laura had 5. Byron and Joey had 6 right, and the Big Onion had 7 right.
Well, you said what? I got 7?
Yeah, you had the most right out of everyone.
I won't win again.
I win.
Don't I always win? Oh,
no.
God. Anyway, go.
No.
Yeah.
You won with that name.
It's actually never happened, but.
Yeah. So,
But okay, so let's talk. So then we get into the crust of the entire situation, which we all know that everybody watches the Royal Rumble because of the fucking Royal Rumble. Let's also keep in mind that this is the 30th anniversary. They build it up as the biggest Royal Rumble of all time because
star-studded.
Actually, it's hilarious. Here's the hilarious part, though. It's not technically the 30th anniversary because they're billing next year's as the 30th anniversary.
Thank you for saying.
Hold on.
But also,
and let's not forget a couple. Hold on, let me say this last part before you talk about the Rumble. Don't forget, Triple H tweeted or said something in some website that this is going to be a very unexpected Rumble. That we're gonna see things that we probably never expected.
Right, exactly. But wait a minute. Let's not bypass what Laura just said. While I was watching the Rumble,
yes.
While I was watching the 30th anniversary, by the way, of the Royal Rumble, Michael Cole says, "Hey, next year at Philadelphia, we're going to celebrate the 30th anniversary of the Royal Rumble." And I'm like, "What?" And then
the only thing I can think is that what that may be was that this was the 30th Royal Rumble. They started it 30 years ago as of 1987. But the official Royal Rumble itself began in 1988.
Right.
Yeah.
The pay-per-view started in '88.
What I wanted to say is
go ahead.
No, what I just wanted to say is that they clearly made us all be. I mean, first of all, we saw a lot of some of the top guys that were going to be in the Rumble. We already knew that, but just the way they were pushing and advertising that. Yes. This year, like always, there's going to be this and that, and these guys may collide with this and that person. You never know what will happen, and this and that. That made it so much more that you needed to watch it. You get what I'm saying? It made it believable like that.
By the way, regardless of the fact that it was the 30th or not, let's just break it down for 1 second. Either way, they said it was going to be the most star-studded. Now, in their defense, and I'm going to defend WWE, they did not say it was going to be the most surprising Royal Rumble of all time. They actually did live up to everything they said they were going to do, which was it has the stars that we were told that they were going to have, and then we were left to assume that Baylor was going to be in it, or Samoa Joe was going to be in it, or even Kurt Angle was going to be in it. It was us that assumed.
What happens like when we assume, ladies and gentlemen?
Exactly.
No, we didn't assume because, like I said a couple minutes ago, Triple H said that we're going to see things that we were never expected. He kind of tried to hint it off, like people was going to be coming, and look what happened.
No, he didn't say that though. He didn't. I mean, I don't want to defend WWE, but technically, he didn't say we were going to have surprises in the Royal Rumble. He didn't say that.
He didn't say
things
that.
Is going to happen. Things is going to happen that we are not expecting. That's exactly what he said.
As far as I know, they advertised it on their website, and they advertised it in video packages that there's always surprises and there's always this. And
hold on, and think about it. They left 7 slots.
I don't know about all that.
Listen, they left 7 slots open on purpose. You think? Hold on. You think? But not telling us the 7 extra slots that they didn't announce wasn't designed. They wanted us. Hey, look at that, 8 slots. They wanted us to think, oh my God, ain't gonna be in there. Finn Balor, Samoa.
I agree.
I can definitely tell you this. This is the
back in 88, 30, 29 years ago, they told you every single person that was in that Rumble. They wanted us to be beasting over Angle and Finn Balor and
that's
Samoa
what I'm
Joe.
saying. This is the first time in a long time that they really trolled us. I mean, they really heavily trolled us.
Let me tell you something. Crazy. I watched the pre-show, right, which started at 5. They talked about nothing but. I want to put this out. I'm being dead serious. They talked about nothing but the fact that the Royal Rumble is a pay-per-view that has nothing but surprises in this era. Shawn Michaels specifically said what O just said. Back in the day, we knew every guy that was in the Royal Rumble. Shawn Michaels said this, and he said you can't say that anymore. With a straight face, by the way. And by the way, I truly believe that Shawn Michaels probably didn't think that. I don't think Shawn Michaels knew everybody that was going to come out, so in a way, I don't think he was lying.
I think WWE, and I'm not even trying to be funny, but I really do think WWE's surprise in their head was Mark Henry because it was Texas. I'm not trying to be funny. I really do think so.
Yeah, I mean, there's one guy that we're probably hit him a little bit harder, but the big number 30 surprise was a Samoan named Joe. So
exactly. No,
was
I
a troll. That was a troll I thought to fuck with us. That's all it was.
But I truly believe that WWE thought that was a surprise. I really believe that.
It was a surprise.
Anybody losing a world
Can I tell you something? I don't think
later on.
I don't think they thought that was a surprise. I know they purposely did that on purpose, just to fuck with us, just for you to. Oh, you thought Angle was there? Oh, fuck you! Here you go. This is what you're gonna get. and you wanted this guy.
Anything can happen.
I don't know, but wait a minute. I don't. No, I don't think that's the only reason. I think they had a purpose, which was.
Well, yeah, they had the whole Taker thing, and
right,
yeah,
exactly.
I know, but still, you don't. But I'll tell
you why. Wait a minute. I'll tell you why that was a failure. It was a failure in the sense that, number one, Roman had a world title match.
Exactly.
Should not have been in the Rumble. We all agree about that. But the other thing about it is that Roman did his thing with The Undertaker, but there was really no substance with that. That people were absolutely anti-Roman doing anything against The Undertaker in any way possible, and you heard it from the beginning to the end of that interaction. But here's something even worse. So the first 10 guys, okay, number one, I love Jack Gallagher a lot. He's one of my favorite guys right now. But being in the Royal Rumble as a cruiserweight is the stupidest thing in the history of the world.
I agree.
Yes.
It's the dumbest thing in the world. All that was for him to do his umbrella trick, and that was basically it. Number two, the guy with no chin. Also, another waste, just to have Ambrose. Just to have Ambrose put him in the ring so that he could get beat up and thrown out. It was a wasted spot. Stupid fucking shit. I'm sorry, go ahead, Sean.
I'm going to defend the Ellsworth one, but I'm going to let you finish first.
I was going to say the other stupid thing, psychology-wise, is that they have been building up for months, not weeks, months, that Braun Strowman was going to be in this Royal Rumble. He comes out, he dominates, which is a good thing, in my opinion. But then Braun Strowman, in his domination, and it took a couple of guys to start beating him up. Who comes out? Baron Corbin comes out. And out of anyone of Sammy, of the guys that were beating him up, Baron Corbin single-handedly eliminates.
Kind of.
Yeah, I mean after the hula kick, but whatever.
I mean, there was three guys had a finisher on him, and then Baron hit him with a clothesline.
Hold on, and then you got Randy Orton. Hold on.
Well, before we get that part,
let me say this one part. And then you got Randy Orton looking at Brock Lesnar like he didn't knock him out and do bust him wide open a couple months ago. But yeah, he just kept wrestling the other guy.
But anyways, getting back in the top 10 first.
Let's go back. There's elements to this that doesn't make sense. I don't care.
That didn't make sense.
All right.
I did it.
What the hell?
Yeah, because there's a whole bunch of stuff. No, but there's a whole bunch of stuff that we can talk about with the last 20 that really didn't make sense.
Can I say something though?
Okay.
All right. What I wanted to say is, first of all, Braun Strowman definitely looks like a fucking monster now. I've said this before. I think they did a great job building him up the way he is, and he definitely when he got into that Rumble, he definitely looked like that guy you don't want to fuck with, and nobody could take out. I'm
so happy he eliminated the Big Show.
He did a superb job. I'll give him that
really
shit.
Good job.
I don't agree. I definitely do not agree. Like, I know Sean said that it took a couple of guys to really kind of knock him off his feet, but the guy who took the credit for that, because everybody backed away from that, was doofy, bald-headed. You know, he took the credit because he was the only guy there.
I would accept that they all ganged up on him and then eliminated him. Exactly. But Baron Corbin doing it by himself, or even I would accept Big Show doing it. I would accept that because he's a man of a higher size. And by the way, I loved every little interaction that Braun Strowman had. I actually liked the Big Show interaction because it made Big Show look strong for like 2 seconds. But it's cool that they lifted each other and all that. I like stuff like that.
Okay.
I'm a sucker for that.
So
I think Sean really wants to defend James Ellsworth.
I do want to defend the first thing because I actually, outside the finish, I kind of enjoyed this Rumble. Going into the James Ellsworth thing, Braun Strowman was eliminated at the Survivor Series by James Ellsworth. That was his revenge, essentially. And Dean Ambrose, for TLC, he never got his revenge on James Ellsworth. Right. There's your revenge. It fit in perfectly with the story.
That's what I said, though.
The Braun Strowman thing, he had 7 straight eliminations. It was Mark Henry, then him, and then the next elimination wasn't until Baron Corbin got eliminated. Before that, he went to battle with Mojo, sort of, Big Cass, sort of, Kalisto, Mark Henry, Big Show, and then, honestly, Ty Dillinger actually putting in a good amount of offense in that match against Braun was a shock.
He did.
And if anything, if they do want to make Baron Corbin look good, after so many people beat the crap out of Braun and then him knocking him out like that, it made Baron look like $1 million for the next time. It built in perfectly for both those guys.
I agree with you. I agree with you 100% on everything you just said. The only problem that I have with this is that, again, you built Braun for the last couple of months. I think people felt, I'm just saying what I read over the last couple of days, I think people felt a little cheated that while, yes, it was cool that Braun was in there with Big Show or Sammy, people still wanted to see Braun in there with Undertaker or with Brock or with Goldberg or some of the bigger names. And for some odd reason, the first 15
because that's what they were teasing. That's
exactly.
What they were teasing, man.
Very much. And you had an opportunity to do it. If you weren't going to have any surprises or anybody that comes out of the woodwork, at least do the things that you've been promoting for the last couple of months.
Yeah, now, Goldberg definitely should have eliminated Braun. It should have been
I don't know about all that, but I think he should have been at least in there with Goldberg. I think he should have been in that spot.
I actually banked on it. I'm like, Goldberg's going to take him. I really thought that, and lo and behold, Baron Bolden.
But let me just say something about the last company for a second.
You okay, Byron?
What the hell is this?
I've been defending Goldberg since the beginning, and I just want to say for the record that even though it was a cool, when he came out, and by the way, even before
his timing was off.
Even before he came out, everybody in that arena was chanting for Goldberg. I mean, you cannot deny that fact. There was a point in the Rumble, if you go back and watch it, that people got restless at a certain point from 20 to like 25. People started chanting for Goldberg every time the buzzer would ring. And when he finally came out, people were very happy. However, this is the first time that I saw Goldberg in the way that he is now, in the sense that he looks in very, very amazing shape for a guy who's 50 years old, but did little to nothing in that match. This is the other problem that I have, and I'll let you guys talk, for the rest. Goldberg, for the second straight time, gets in there with Brock Lesnar, who I thought, by the way, Brock Lesnar, to me, did a lot more than I thought he was going to do. I thought he had a good showing in the Rumble, actually. But Goldberg gets in there as soon as Brock does his domination. Goldberg gets in there, spears him, and then clotheslines him over the top. Once again, like Brock is a piece of total shit. That I have a problem with because, okay, you caught him off guard at the Survivor Series. I could somewhat buy that, but doing it twice like that, making Brock look like nothing. Brock has not had one offensive move on Goldberg since this entire thing started. I just want to point that out.
Sort of.
No, not one offensive.
I mean, he lifted him up, pushed him. Yeah,
but that's not an offensive move though. Goldberg, to me, it should have been the reverse. Brock should have gotten at least a little piece of Goldberg to even the tipping scales, so that when they go into WrestleMania, you could honestly say, well, Brock, has he had that on Goldberg at the Royal Rumble, and Goldberg had that on at the Survivor Series. But Goldberg has made Brock Lesnar look like nothing. Brock, you got to remember, Brock Lesnar ended the Undertaker streak. This guy dominated Dean Ambrose at WrestleMania. The one thing, by the way, they didn't show at 24, I don't know if anybody noticed that, and not for obvious reasons, because Brock didn't even want to do that match. But anyway, I just felt like that was the wrong thing to do with Goldberg and Lesnar, in my opinion. And then you have this is the worst part of all, in my opinion. The other thing, besides looking at Goldberg for the first time in a different light, was looking at Undertaker. He looked legitimately old. I mean,
old, big belly.
Yes,
He looked really out of shape.
Not in a good, positive way. And this is always something that I've talked about for a long time that I was worried about with the Undertaker. Undertaker's a character that you want to see him in a certain way, and now he's past that. And now we're seeing a little bit of a sad Undertaker, where
it's not that he's sad.
I think he's sad.
The reports came out that he had a bad hip that day, and it was really, really hurting him. And it actually might affect his WrestleMania match. He might not even show up for WrestleMania. So that's basically what they're saying. But he really did look like a bad. He had a big gut. And I'm gonna keep it real with you. Brock didn't look like he was in great shape either. I mean, he had good upper body. He had a little gut himself. It just all the stars just looked kind of washed up except Goldberg. To be honest with you, Mark Henry, another one. Goldberg and Big Show.
I thought Mark Henry looked good. What was wrong with Mark Henry?
He was there. Somebody's gonna get their ass kicked. He hasn't kicked ass in 3 years.
Yeah, I mean,
he's the one that gets his ass kicked.
But he didn't look bad.
I mean, Mark Henry had more eliminations than say a few guys actually.
By the way, Brock I don't know the person that Brock eliminated, but he eliminated him in such a easy manner. I think it might have been Ambrose or something, but
no, it was Enzo.
It was just the way that. Oh, thank you.
I got my elimination here.
Yes,
which I love, by the way. I don't care if listen. I don't care if he demolished fucking Enzo Amore. Enzo Amore came out, and when he got so hyper, it was so fucking hilarious. And then he got clothesline. It was fucking great. I loved it.
What I was gonna say is that from 25 to 30, you had every star, right? They packed in every star from that point, and then the middle of that, you have Enzo Amore.
Which was hilarious. And then hold on, and then they put over. He's number 27. That's the most. What is it? The people who draw that number won 3 or 4 times, and then he just get eliminated in 30 seconds.
I hated it. I hated it. I thought it was the stupidest thing in the world. It made no sense. It disrupted the order of what they were doing, and I didn't like the fact that they packed every star at a certain point and left the rest of the Rumble, with some par superstars, if you want to.
Do you think Brock Lesnar is going to be in there for more than 5 minutes? Do you think Goldberg's going to be in there for more than 5 minutes?
But especially Goldberg. Because let's be honest, yo. No, let's be honest. Goldberg looked really stiff in there. There was a couple of shots that I seen. He threw a kick at Chris Jericho. He looked really stiff.
Yeah,
I mean, he was just you could tell the nerves were there.
He caught Chris square in the freaking stomach.
That kick was wicked, though.
No, let me tell you something. Chris Jericho.
I thought that was the best Goldberg did.
Hold on, but let's not forget. Chris Jericho took a beating because Mojo Riley with his dumb ass kneed the shit out of his kneecap, almost fucking broke Jericho's leg. That he had to talk to the damn referee. Was like, yo, I gotta go to the corner. My leg is hurting.
But I disagree with you about Mojo being an idiot. Mojo, if you saw right before that, he does this thing that the guy from TNA used to do. I forgot his name. He was a black guy. He was a big deal.
Marcus Corvan?
Yes, thank you. Well, that was the WWE name.
Monty Brown.
But Monty Brown.
Yeah, Monty Brown.
Monty Brown had the same move where he would throw you off the ropes and then tackle you. He did it. Mojo did it to the first guy. I can't remember who it was.
Kalisto.
Thank you. And then he was going to do the same thing to Jericho, but Jericho did not bounce off the ropes. He stayed in the corner. If you go back and watch it, you can see clearly Mojo had to improvise, and that's why he collided with Jericho. Jericho
the thing is too. The thing is too with Mojo that I noticed, Cass basically grabbed him and threw him in the corner and literally leaned into him as to say, dude, you need to fucking calm your ass down.
But here's the other.
That being said, I like Mojo look. I'm sorry, guys.
Me too. I do.
I don't like
too.
Mojo at all. I don't like him at all.
He don't look like a frat guy no more.
But let me just say, another thing that I don't like about the Rumble is that when a guy comes in, automatically that guy beats up everybody in the Royal Rumble. I'm just thinking about psychology-wise, why is it that, okay, 1 or 2 people could do that, but when you have every single person that comes into the Rumble, like Dolph Ziggler super kicking everybody, or Mojo doing the Monty Brown, or Brock doing the suplexes, or you know what I mean? Like over and over, it's a fucking
Brock
it looks more believable with Brock.
Yeah, Brock
is the guy
That was
got
all.
Dolph Ziggler who's super kicking everybody. Come on.
Exactly, but that's my point. Brock is
if Rey Mysterio comes in there and starts fucking everybody up, it's
exactly.
stupid.
It's stupid. It's very, very stupid. Brock, I can believe. By the way, that was a great shot. When Brock suplexed everybody, they took a shot around the ring, and everybody was like in a cartoon, like they all had like the little butterflies on their head, and Brock was standing there laughing. That was a great shot. I like that. But again, I thought it was the eliminations and the way that they occurred. And then to top everything off, as we discussed earlier, number 30 being Roman Reigns and Roman being the one that eliminated Undertaker. I get it. That's the match that they want to do. But, oh, man, it just gave me a sour taste in my mouth when that happened.
It sucked the fucking life out of the fucking entire
and by the way,
Royal Rumble.
3 years in a row.
Yeah, anything you witnessed that night in the Rumble that was entertaining was taken away with just his music hitting.
Exactly.
Music hitting. Everybody, listen.
It got to a point that Rob was yelling, "This is bullshit!" Like they were really upset about
it. I'm here in my house.
That's the crowd's reaction when Roman actually the music hit. You can see the front row, like they go, "Holy, shit," but not in a good way. Like people, they were nauseous.
I'm here. Like I told you, I was here with my brother, and my mom actually was watching it also. All right, she doesn't like Roman Reigns, so you can imagine her saying, "Are you fucking serious?" She looked at me and she said in Spanish. She said in Spanish, she's like, "Are you kidding me? Roman Reigns? Why is he coming out here?" I'm like, "Mom, I don't fucking know." It's like it's stupid too to me. It was just suck life out of my entire room here that I was watching.
You're right about one thing for sure is that when his music hit, it literally sucked. I don't know how to explain it, but it actually really did suck the energy out of the match. Like
it was mainly because they were waiting for that surprise. Mainly, I don't really think it's all because it was Roman Reigns. I mainly think it's because they were waiting for that Finn Balor, Samoa Joe. When they heard that Roman Reigns, they're like, again.
Joey said it before.
Dude, they got a video. Hold on, let me say this one part. They got video packages of fans who live streamed the 30th entrance, and they all like, "What the fuck?" and all these like frat guys, "This is bullshit, man," and like all these people is just like really shitting on the number 30 of it. But hopefully WWE seen that video.
Joey said it before that it doesn't make any sense when this guy was just in the title match for him to come out there again. It doesn't make any sense.
I mean,
because if that was the case, then AJ should have been out
there. You go.
Even though last week we did. I don't know if I mentioned it or not, but I did say don't be surprised if John Cena or Roman Reigns came out. Now, even though we said that, I still did not. It didn't even cross my mind. I swear to God, I did not even think that number 30 would be Roman Reigns. That didn't even cross. Did it cross anybody else's mind that was going to be Roman?
Nope.
No.
No,
I had no idea. I really thought that Finn Balor was going to be the one, honestly.
I thought it was going to be Kurt Angle. I really did.
Now, after like 25, I knew Kurt Angle wasn't going to come out. I don't think they were going to save him for the ending, but I really thought Finn Balor was going to come out, but wow.
No, I thought it was Kurt because it was the ending, because he wouldn't have to do so much. That's why I thought it was Kurt. And also because we saw Undertaker, Brock, Goldberg. We saw every big star that they had. I thought, 30 is going to be Kurt Angle. When Roman's, again, it just blew my mind. And by the way, let's not forget that the fight, I don't know if there was even a Final Four. Was there a Final Four? Besides Roman, Orton, and Bray, was there another guy?
Yeah, it was Chris Jericho.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I got three of them. I got three of them.
but I think he got hurt though.
Okay, before you really get to saying, I just want to give some praise to Chris Jericho. I did not expect this man, at the age that he is, he's 44 or something, and he lasted over an hour in that match. 46.
But you always talk about the age that he is. These guys can do a lot at their age.
Exactly. Rick
But did you think going into this Royal Rumble that if anyone was going to be the Iron Man of this match, it would have been Chris Jericho?
Yes, I would believe that.
Out of anybody Jericho would have been like the person.
It didn't surprise me at all. Like I genuinely, when I think about someone's age, is when I physically see them act like they're older than their age. And to me, that the time that I thought about it, exactly, that's when I thought about it. I was like, wow, Undertaker, I don't know how old he is, but he looks old. Like that's
he's about Goldberg's age, bro.
I wanted
he's
to
older
than
he's
talk about
just to really say the Undertaker is actually 51. He's older than Goldberg.
Yeah, he just did not look. He just did not look like in the best.
But they like throwing the fact that not only was Chris Jericho in the match for an hour, he was also in a shark cage for about 30 minutes before that.
Yeah. No, but again, Jericho being in that match for as long as he was, that did not surprise me whatsoever. I think Jericho, like Shawn or like Kurt, these are guys that are just, they're conditioned to go past a certain age. I don't even think their age bothers them, to be honest. I truly believe that if Kurt Angle puts it in his mind that he has to wrestle a 30-minute match, let's say at WrestleMania, he could do it. I truly believe that. I think Kurt Angle, once he gets in a mindset, I don't think his age would bother him at all. And the same, I want to believe that that's the same for Goldberg, but again, based on what I saw, I'm not too sure now. I'm just saying, like, this is the first time where I was like, uh-oh.
Did you notice when Taker was there, he looked good, right? But when he started moving around, he looked happy. His belly was hanging out.
He was slow.
The minute he dropped the straps, the image was gone.
Yeah.
His belly was
once that big ass beer belly came out, I was like, whoa, I didn't even see that shit under the straps. I really didn't. I did not expect that gut to be that big.
You know what's funny?
And I said, what the hell is this?
You know what's funny about Undertaker? When his music hit and they showed him in the ring, right? They only showed his face, and he looked good. He looked good in the face area, and then when he, like Laura said, when he put the straps down,
dude,
I was like, whoa.
Why you think he didn't go down that long ass aisle, man? Why you think? You got belly, you gotta love that.
By the way, I don't know.
Well, I will say that I give them props for that idea. That was cool.
I don't know if you
the card.
There are reports
big for that.
Yeah, but there are reports.
Bray Wyatt is not that big, bro. For him to need a fucking card, come on.
Yo, but there's reports that they said that Taker was actually injured during the Rumble.
Yeah,
and
that's what they said. His hip. Yeah, his hip is done. It's shot.
Yeah, but he just got. I think we talked about it. He just got surgery. How the fuck are you?
But he didn't know. He didn't know it was gonna hurt him. So he said
he hasn't gotten the hip surgery that he actually needs. He hasn't gotten it yet.
Well, they say there's reports that he got it. He got the hip surgery.
They're saying
this match, and it's hurting him more than what he thought it was. So now his WrestleMania match is in jeopardy.
By the way, I just want to say for the record that we say that every year. I'll believe it when it doesn't happen. In other words, I think Undertaker will be there.
No, by the size of that gut, honestly, I don't expect to be a wrestler.
But
hold on. But I'm not trying to like judge on the gut. I feel like obviously means he's not working out. Something is hurting him. That's why he's not training.
Get it, but I still believe he will be at WrestleMania. I'm telling you. It would take for him not to be at WrestleMania. It would take something really serious.
Check this out. If you really saw what happened, on Monday night, Taker should have been there to settle something with Roman Reigns, and they didn't do that. What Roman Reigns did is he went after what was it, Braun.
Strowman.
I agree, so but you gotta remember, there's a pay-per-view before WrestleMania.
Yeah, I know, but they had an opportunity to do it, but I think Taker was fucked up. I don't think.
I got a feeling. I think that's the route they're gonna go. I think they're gonna go with Roman against Braun because Undertaker may not show up at WrestleMania.
That doesn't mean Undertaker's not gonna show up. There's still plenty of time before WrestleMania, and there's a pay-per-view before WrestleMania. They don't have to rush Undertaker and Roman right away. They don't.
No, they don't. They need to. I mean, if you want to really stir things up, it just happened. So,
but there's a pay-per-view before WrestleMania.
Yeah, but you don't want to wait too long either, dude. I mean, people kind of forget about what's going on with Taker.
61 days.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the amount of time between now and Mania.
All I'm saying for the record is, don't say that Undertaker's not going to be there because
I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is they could have put a stamp on it on Monday. And they didn't do it. That only tells me that maybe Taker was injured and he couldn't really make it.
I agree with that. But I don't think that means that it's called off.
I'm not saying that.
Because I don't want to see a big gut, slow, bad hip Undertaker. That's just me anyway.
And by the way, I want to state for the record that I've said that a long time ago that I don't want to see Undertaker if he can't be the Undertaker. And obviously, the Royal Rumble, even before he got injured, I said to myself,
but this is the worst shape he's ever been in, though.
Exactly.
Like last year, he wasn't that bad shape.
Exactly. Even if you look at Brock and Undertaker from WrestleMania 30, he still looked pretty good. You know, like, again, the Royal Rumble, I was like, he really does not look good. So, but I still don't think that it's called off. I still think that Undertaker will fight whoever he's supposed to fight. It might be Roman or whatever. But that's just how I feel about it. I could be wrong. Undertaker, but in my opinion, I think he will be there, and I think it will be the last WrestleMania for him. That's what I truly believe. This is going to be it. Now, it should have been last year at Texas, but they wanted to keep going for whatever reason.
Unless it's otherwise, I'm thinking next year. They're putting too much that he's going to be at the next show already.
No, I don't think. Based on what I saw, he's not going to.
He was already at the press conference for next year's WrestleMania.
Yeah, but no, man, I don't think he's going to last till next year. I really don't.
For all we know, though, it could be just as simple as him going into the Hall of Fame next year.
That's true too, actually.
Exactly. I don't think he'll last till next year. I think this is it. If he's going to wrestle this year, I think that'll be it because it has to be. I think he knows that. I think WWE knows it, and I think the fans know it as well. By the way, I did think for a second that number 30 could have been Sting. I did think that.
That would have been actually kind of cool.
It would have been very cool.
Everybody forgot about Sting already.
Exactly, you know? And if he would have been standing there with the Undertaker, people would have creamed their pants.
Actually, wow, that would have been a moment there.
Exactly. Actually, I still think they should do it. I thought about it a lot, actually. I was like, man, maybe it's Sting, and he's gonna stand there with the Undertaker, and that's how they're gonna go out. You know, that's I think they're around the same age, they're around the same shape. I think that's the better match.
Sting is in better shape. I'm sorry.
Well, yeah, but I think that's the better matchup for Undertaker because let's say he does fight Roman, for argument's sake. Roman, you can say what you want about Roman, but he's an incredible athlete, and he's going to have to do a hell of a sell job for the Undertaker in that match. I mean, there's no two ways about it. You know, like Undertaker's not going to be able to.
He won't be able to do a lot of moves. No Boston crabs, no stretches, none of that bad hip. So.
None of that. None of it.
Hell, honestly, if just looking at what we saw for what was about 3 minutes, I want Goldberg and the Undertaker more than anything.
That's the other thing I thought about.
Especially if you think about it, like when they had Undertaker and Shawn. I think Undertaker and Punk were the same way too. Guys went down to Undertaker's place and they worked on this match like every single level. I mean, what the hell else does Goldberg have to do till then? He could go down in Texas and they could be like, yo, this is what we're going to do with this every moment.
But did they ever fight? They didn't fight, right?
Goldberg and Taker?
Yeah.
At the Rumble they did.
No. Aside from the Rumble. Oh, they fought?
No, they've never faced off before except the Rumble.
I don't think they've ever faced.
That was something I did think about when because by the way, in the middle of all this crap, because I did think the Royal Rumble was crap, just for the record. I did think that was a cool moment though, to see Goldberg and Undertaker face to face, and Undertaker like choke him, and Goldberg spear him. I thought that was actually one of the highlights of an otherwise crappy Rumble. And then when going back to the actual Rumble, when it was down to Bray, Orton, and Roman. I genuinely remember that people were saying that Orton was going to win the Rumble, and we laughed about that. But I thought, okay, this is the last three. I want Bray. Out of the three of those guys, I wanted Bray Wyatt more than anything else in my life to win that Royal Rumble, and Orton ended up winning it, which again made that was like that was whipped cream on the shit sandwich as far as I'm concerned. And the only reason I say that is because Orton won it before, and in my opinion, it's going backwards instead of forwards. That's just,
not only that. He's what are you gonna? I mean, he's feuding with he's with the Wyatts. What kind of fucking storyline do you have for him?
Well, the rumor is that Bray's going to win the title at the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, I know, but it's stupid.
That's the rumor. And supposedly Goldberg is going to beat Kevin Owens for the
But who wants
belt,
it? But my whole thing is who wants to see that as a main event for a title?
Byron.
I love Bray Wyatt. Don't get me wrong. I love Bray Wyatt.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it does not feel like a championship match.
It doesn't.
Really
It doesn't.
Like, if you would have told me that a couple months ago, I would have said she was lying. I would have said, nah, they're not gonna fucking. Are you crazy? Fucking Randy Orton. He hasn't had a title since like 2011.
But can I?
Bray
But can I
Wyatt,
say?
who lost like 3 years in a row? Like, how he's gonna be a champion? And I can't believe
But
that.
can I say for the record that none of the matches that are being talked about feel like WrestleMania at all? None of them.
It's true.
And I tell you, let me tell you something real quick about Goldberg and Lesnar. Again, as I said before, I was okay somewhat with what happened at Survivor Series because it was, we hadn't seen it. It was brand new. Goldberg returned. He looked better than everybody thought he was going to look. I think he performed better than everybody thought. But am I excited to see Goldberg and Lesnar at WrestleMania? No. And I can't believe I'm saying that because I was excited about the situation until Goldberg did what he did at Survivor Series, and then he did it again at Royal Rumble. What would lead anyone to believe, in wrestling world, that Brock has a chance to fucking beat Goldberg? And let's just say that because we know Brock's gonna win. We that's just common sense. But let's just say that even if you don't believe Brock's gonna win, what kind of a match do you really expect out of these two? I'm telling you that we're not going to get anything that anybody's going to want to see. And that's where on Monday when Brock was when Paul Heyman, who did cut a good promo, by the way, I loved his promo about the
I say that promo on Raw was amazing.
Amazing promo by Paul Heyman. However, in the words of Paul Heyman, but I was not excited about it. I for the first time, I was like, why would I be excited about watching these two who barely have touched each other since this entire situation? Why would I believe that these guys are going to have any kind of a match at WrestleMania? Now, the only thing that would shock the fuck out of me is if they actually did have a match at WrestleMania. That would shock me. If they touched each other for more than 2 minutes, that would shock me, and that would win me over. But based on what I've seen and based on what we know of, why am I excited about it? There's no excitement about this match whatsoever. I'm not excited. I'm not excited about that. I'm not excited about Orton and Bray. I'm not excited about the other Roman and Undertaker. Even if Undertaker wasn't injured and he was in the best shape of his life, I don't care about that match either. There's nothing that I care about this WrestleMania. Who's AJ going to fight?
That's
Shane
my point
McMahon.
on AJ, man.
Oh yeah, right. Thank
Shane
you.
McMahon, supposedly. Yeah.
Another
I
situation that I give a shit about.
Yeah,
You're gonna waste AJ Styles and his talent against Shane McMahon?
Exactly. See, this is where it goes downhill.
This is what I'm telling you. I'm not excited about this WrestleMania. And by the way, this is the least, even more so than last year. And we know that it wasn't that great last year, but even more so than last year. How can we be excited about AJ and Shane? I'm sure Shane's gonna go all out and do some cool stunt. But realistically, do I want to see AJ versus Shane? I mean,
WrestleMania is unfolding to be very
But here's the
underwhelming.
thing, though, Joey. You got to remember, AJ Styles is the type of guy that can have a great match with a wet mop.
I agree with you, Laura. But if you told me that, if you didn't tell me that they have a roster of a Nakamura or a Samoa Joe or a Finn Balor or countless guys that they have on that roster that could wrestle AJ or Kurt Angle, who could wrestle AJ, but instead want Shane McMahon to wrestle AJ. I get that he could wrestle anybody and he can have a great match, but you have potential wrestlers stacked up to wrestle AJ, and you're not going to use them?
This is true. This is true. However, I actually kind of enjoy watching Shane in the ring. I always have. So.
Also,
I still think the last year was the Undertaker was a wrong pick, but at the same time, though, when you go back and you watch WWE 24 when it covering the WrestleMania, and you just go, holy shit, it all makes sense now.
Yeah, I mean, even watching that, I was like, it wouldn't have been my choice for either one of those guys. I think Shane could have benefited from someone else. I would prefer to see Shane and Ambrose because I think there's a history there. I think you could have done something extreme with those two guys instead of AJ. Again, AJ has potential opponents for days, in my opinion, in that company that he could wrestle at a WrestleMania. If you want to do Shane and AJ, fine, but not at WrestleMania. I think that's where AJ should shine the brightest. I think that's where he needs to have a match that steals the show in a wrestling sense. And you have a lot of potential guys.
This goes back to what I was stating before. If Cena doesn't go into Mania with that belt, it was a waste of fucking time.
And also, let's remember the other big match that's going to be at WrestleMania. Seth Rollins and Triple H. Are you excited about Seth Rollins and Triple H? Because I got to tell you, I'm not.
Seth Rollins
at this point in time, it needs to get
which basically means that he's going to fucking beat Samoa Joe, who's going to be debuting, which I totally disagree with.
Yeah, totally disagree. By the way, that was the big thing that happened on Raw, that Samoa Joe made his debut. Here's the other thing. Triple H had Seth Rollins, and then he had Kevin Owens, and now he has Samoa Joe. Again, the pattern just continues to... It's not that Rollins and Triple H are going to have a bad match, because I think they're going to actually have a way better match than Roman and Triple H. But I'm just sick of the patterns, the pattern of the situation. Triple H has a pattern of involving himself in the WrestleMania matches. And I know that they built this up for a very long time, and I'm glad that people are excited about it.
They kind of did it.
No, they did. They did.
Oh no, it's been a slow fucking burn.
Very slow.
It's been a severe slow fucking burn.
And I think that's a good thing.
It wasn't even mentioned for months. And Seth Rollins was doing his own thing, even though that happened to him in the first couple of, I think, 2 weeks. He mentioned him, but then he forgot about Triple H the whole time, and it was just Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho for fucking months after that. It was, Triple H was just mentioned, I think, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, and then they're gonna have the big match for the women, which is gonna be, from what I heard, a fatal 4-way. With Charlotte, Bayley, Behemoth Lady, and Sasha Banks.
Somebody please change Behemoth Lady's fucking music.
By the way, that's
you don't like her music?
No,
yeah,
that's just
horrible.
That's
horrible.
For her. It's so horrible.
Yeah, it's horrible.
I'm like, what?
By the way, that's something else. That's something else that we talked about. That Behemoth Lady was going to utterly destroy Sasha Banks, and she did it now twice in a row. Twice in a row. Exactly, but that's my point. They built Sasha Banks, as the potential Ricky Steamboat to her Ric Flair, and now, in 48 hours, you destroy her. I'm sorry.
What the fuck what the fuck happened last night on Raw?
She just.
I was doing something else, and I hear ding ding ding, and the referee's looking fucking confused.
She absolutely destroyed Sasha Banks, even more so than she did at the Royal Rumble. Destroyed her. I mean, I was just like, I don't understand.
But why? See, this is the problem. They need to change Behemoth Lady into something else. She does not look behemoth enough to me to be destroying fucking Sasha Banks.
She comes out with all this makeup and eyeshadow. Yeah. Like, you a fucking monster, or you a plus size model? Like, what are you?
Yeah, and she's smiling when the fucking camera. Yeah. Music hits. She's all up in the camera.
You like that music, bro? You don't think that music's for monsters?
I'm glad you brought that up, by the way, because that was the first. I'm going to say something good about Roman, actually. For the first time that I can remember, Roman actually did what he should be doing the last couple of years. And when he fought The Undertaker, he didn't smile. He looked like an evil guy when he eliminated The Undertaker. That's what Roman Reigns should be doing. So on that, I'm complimenting him on that, because he had the right look for the right moment. He did it?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't see that.
I thought it was cool too, but that's it. That's where it ended.
But that's what he should be doing. No smiling. When he eliminated The Undertaker, he looked like the bad guy. He absolutely looked like the bad guy.
Because he was the bad guy at that point.
No, I know, but I'm saying, like, officially, like, full blown. I'm dad,
and I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks of me.
That's my yard.
If Roman,
which is they kind of went that way on Monday night too.
Yeah. If he did more of that, that would be good. Beat the crap out of Braun and then spear Kevin, and have that look on your face. That's the look that you're supposed to have.
Do you remember how Jake the Snake, when he was a heel, he had that heel theme?
Yeah. Yes.
All right, that matched him, right?
Exactly.
Right. They need to understand
that was a slower version than his real theme.
Right.
I
But
don't
the
know.
match, they need to switch up that fucking theme. I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm still talking about it. It just irritates me that she's
You don't
fucking
like
coming out
You know
there.
what?
Yo, because she's not
Where's
like most
Elsa
girls. Like the soul
Lupino?
says.
You know what it is? That they want Bohemian Lady to be their Awesome Kong.
But she doesn't look
Yeah.
pretty. I mean,
And
she first of all, she doesn't look pretty. All right,
And
so
she's
she needs to
not-
stop putting all that
not-
shit on.
That's a matter of your opinion, but there you go.
Yeah, a lot
I
of
don't
I actually know
think she's
people
that
that think that. I actually know
she's
people
that
that think
bad.
Nia Jax is very pretty.
yeah.
I
I've
know,
met quite a
but-
few
okay,
guys that think
but
she's
she's not a
hot, and
pretty
I
contest.
definitely
She's not a
agree with
pretty
you,
contest.
Byron, that
Well,
she's
she's
not.
not.
But yeah,
Well,
But she's
Well,
playing a heel. She's playing
is
a
anyone
heel.
talking?
She's
No,
playing a heel. She should not
Byron's
be
right,
wearing
though.
a ton of makeup, man. And she should not have a fucking music like that. And it makes you want to jump up out of your seat and dance and shit.
And then
It shouldn't be like that.
I don't think you shouldn't be dancing to a monster's music, man. We shouldn't be
At all.
dancing when Kane comes out. I mean, come on, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
They need to
I mean,
switch her up. They need to put.
We
They need
shouldn't
to
be
put
doing
a
anything
hoodie on
with
her.
Nick.
Yo, listen, I really believe they need to put a hoodie on her, take the makeup off, make her look
yeah, do it like the
rugged.
Usos was doing. Yeah. Put a bandana on her head. Something.
First of all, I wouldn't go that far because the Usos look like the guys that sell me weed.
Yo,
I backwards.
they look at the guys that swipe people at the train station. Like, what the hell are you
do.
doing?
They look like the type of guys that Trump is trying to ban from the country.
but you get what I'm saying.
I don't like Nia Jax.
No, I-
Like her shit look like patent leather bodysuit, like the Missy Elliott video. Like I don't like that. She needs to change that.
I 100% agree. If you're trying to make her a monster and this dominant woman, then you need to go with that. You cannot go with both.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it doesn't make.
Trying to put makeup in your face
And then
shiny
the
outfit.
worst. And then the worst
But she is
part
she's
about it.
pretty. Though.
The
She is
worst part
pretty.
about it is when she starts speaking. She speaks.
Oh my god, she sound like a tranny.
I'm like, what the
Let me
fuck?
tell you something, Sasha.
Yeah,
But
you
she-
should be.
I think she's
You
pretty.
should be.
Though.
Nah, but she should be like, listen, I'm gonna sit on you
Yeah.
and I'm gonna rip you apart. out of that
I would do
ring."
my cousin Rakishi move on you.
Like
Wait a
some
minute.
shit.
Wait. So you want her to cut a 1980s promo?
But maybe she should put a little.
you, yeah.
She should put a. She should put a little bass.
leg, Sasha. Not her.
You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta make yourself look believable and sound believable.
Yeah,
and
that's
you're not doing any of the two.
That's what I was
Yeah,
trying to say about. That's what I was trying to say about Roman. He actually looked believable this time at the Royal Rumble.
Finally. Yeah, of course, because he got tired of getting booed, man. He probably was really mad. He's probably like, you know what, man? Gotta show some
He
sort of
probably got
attitude.
mad because he probably
Not
told
according-
him, "You're next."
Not according to what he said on the 24. He was like, "Well, they were standing, and you know." He's like, "Shut
No,
up."
but they probably pushed him out and said, "Hey, dude, you're next."
Yeah,
Just so you
fuck,
know.
of
What?
course he had to say that shit. He's
By the
not gonna
way,
say, man, they don't like me.
Like we bypassed something that you said earlier way too quickly, and that is the potential plan or even the rumor scares me that Goldberg is going to beat Kevin Owens.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How?
And I swear I believe it. It just seems like he's talking about it way too much. He seems like that's where he's going.
Well, the whole purpose of him coming back was for another title run, right? So it might happen. That's probably what the whole thing was about. And he's gonna go into Mania to defend it against Brock, and Brock will beat him for that belt. That's probably what's gonna wind up going down.
But nobody
And then
else,
he can beat-
nobody has a problem with the fact that A, Goldberg is going to beat Kevin Owens, and B, that it will
I'm
be
not-
Brock and Goldberg.
Yo,
for the
honestly, as long as it's not Roman Reigns, man, I don't care, man. To be honest with you.
Yeah,
I
I'm okay
care.
with
I
that.
care about how
I don't
they're
know.
handling every
Exactly.
situation. Every situation is so fucked up right now. It
I don't
doesn't
know how
make
he's
any
gonna,
sense.
how can he even have a match with Kevin Owens, and not either hurt himself or hurt Kevin Owens.
He is gonna try. I'm telling you, he's gonna fucking botch. I cannot wait for the first 5-minute length match he has. You're gonna
You
see
saw-
how awkward he's gonna be moving.
Well,
You saw
first of
how
all, if you're waiting for him to have a 5-minute match, you'll be waiting a long time.
He was
Right.
against everybody in the Rumble, shoulder hitting, tackled them with the shoulder and shit, but it just looked mad sloppy.
It looks sloppy. Did you
Goldberg
see when he was
has to
supposed to eliminate Rusev? He didn't know what to say. He couldn't even call the elimination properly.
But that's what I'm saying.
He botched that too.
I've always said this about Goldberg. Goldberg is all over the place. He doesn't fucking stop. Stop for a second and look what the fuck is going on. because you're all over.
But that's not his character, though, to stop and look what's going on.
I know, but he looks so sloppy.
Imagine Goldberg reassessing the situation.
He's like, wait a minute. Let me see. Do I want to put an arm bar or a leg bar?
He's out there with a bunch of guys. You look horrendous, going all over the place, not knowing who to bump who.
Let me tell you something. The crowd was into it. That's all I can say.
They were until he slips again.
Yeah, and then after the night, that's when everybody starts talking. Hey, Goldberg looks mad sloppy out there.
No, I don't think so. I think the crowd was very into it. As a matter of fact,
they
were begging for it to come out.
Yo, can I tell you something before we run out of time? I really enjoyed Kevin Owens and fucking Braun Strowman on Monday, man. I don't know why, but Kevin Owens really looked desperate to beat fucking Braun Strowman.
I like
it. Was fucking great, bro.
My favorite part is that Braun
that front flip fucking leg drop. That was great.
No, but when they were on the microphone, Braun was like, "You either give me a Universal title match, or I'm gonna break you in half right now." It's just the way he said it. He said it with such conviction that it really made me believe that he would totally break Kevin Owens in half. Like, I was like, yeah, I think he could break Kevin Owens in half. He has a point. Braun is getting way better than people, I think, expected him to get.
Yo, do you guys remember?
And I called that too, because you didn't like him in the beginning, and I like his little character.
I didn't.
You guys remember last year when the Big Show faced off against Braun Strowman in the ring? Somebody took a picture, a snapshot, and they uploaded it where last year they both were out of shape, and this year when they both faced off on Raw, they put it side by side, and they both lost a lot.
They look like monsters. They look like legit monsters.
Like I said, that was one of my favorite parts of the Rumble is Braun and Big Show. I really enjoyed that. I like Big Show picking.
No, but did you see that picture, Joey? It is true. Like they both look like big belly monsters, but now they look like in good shape. So
Braun got in very good shape.
Very good.
I will say one of my favorite parts actually of the Rumble was they were in the backstage area with the roll cage. And Sammy comes in, he picks his number, and Dean comes in, grabs his number, and Sammy's nervous opening his ball and whatnot. It's an 8. Oh, wait, no, it's upside down. Oh, it's an 8. That's actually one of my favorite parts of that.
But you forgot about one part. Dean Ambrose is like, what's my number? And he was like, whatever, I'm going to go to sleep. Wake me up when my music hits.
That was so funny.
I thought, by the way, he was going to have a much bigger impact than what he did in the Rumble.
I did too, but at the same time, I got we got Chris Jericho. God Almighty, I think his official
and he did it last year too, by the way.
Yeah, that's twice in a row, and now there's rumor that he's leaving after WrestleMania.
Really?
He's been saying that though.
According to
he did do it last year.
According to Michael Cole, he's had the longest time in the Rumble.
It's like over 4 hours.
Even though right before that they just mentioned that Triple H had the longest time.
Well, that's because he broke Triple H's time in this Rumble. I mean, before this Rumble, he was like 6 minutes behind him. Because he was in the Rumble for an hour, he shattered Triple H's record.
Okay, I see. By the way, before I forget, here's another bust that happened in the Rumble that nobody has mentioned. The spot that we always wait for every year is Kofi Kingston. And what does he do this year? Completely nothing.
I think him almost falling off the turnbuckle that he had grabbed it with his hand. That was supposed to be the major spot.
I know, but that was weak, man. Nobody even reacted to it. Nobody.
They ran out of ideas.
I thought that was weak, man. Every aspect this year was weaker than it's ever been, in my opinion.
But at the same time, though, it still was an enjoyable pay-per-view, minus the Rumble kind of being underwhelming.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't have any surprises, but at the same time, though, with the way it was, I'd rather have had guys that were consistently on the roster than a bunch of fucking surprises that would never fucking show up again.
And I was going to say, at the beginning of the show, what's interesting about the Rumble is that...
We had Mark Henry.
A lot of people, for the most part, complain that WWE relies on superstars from the past coming back. Well, this year, WWE relied on their roster. I mean, for the most part. Minus Goldberg and Lesnar. But they relied on the roster, and what did people do? they complained that nobody came in from the past.
Yeah, but
So
we want
it's
people. We wanted people like Finn Balor and Angle that was gonna stay. Not just kind of like the Godfather.
Well, let me ask you something. If Finn Balor would have came in, would that really would have made a big difference?
Holy crap!
No,
Yeah.
At least, yeah, but at least we'd have been like, wow, he's back and get hype
Wait,
about
who?
it, and
Who are you talking
Finn
about?
Balor.
Yeah. I mean, I would have liked to see him against the Undertaker for a second, but I don't know if he would have changed my mind.
Or Samoa Joe doing a bunch of his moves.
Just imagine that instead of Roman Reigns, it was Finn Balor.
Well, that's true.
Because that's pretty much at the moment when everyone was just like, this Romo's shit, when Roman came out at third.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, if Finn Balor would have came out, would that have really tipped the scales and made it a great Royal Rumble just because Balor came out? I don't think so. Unless he would have came out like a Bullet Club member and did something like that. And by the way, I would have preferred Balor to attack Rollins than Samoa Joe.
And Rollins, and that's fucked up. They didn't even have Rollins in the Royal Rumble. I know it was also a storyline, but still, it was pretty stupid though.
Exactly.
This is a big pay-per-view to not have that guy on.
Another point, by the way.
Like, why didn't they, show that
I didn't even realize
during the Royal Rumble? That would have made it a little more exciting.
He had a presence at NXT.
Wait. Seth Rollins wasn't in the Royal Rumble pay-per-view, right? He wasn't on it at all?
Because he was on NXT.
That's what I'm saying.
He got banned.
How funny is that this guy is one of the top guys there, or supposedly he was, because he hasn't been on top, I think.
Yeah.
But not to have him on the pay-per-view to do something, at least something.
They should have had that
crazy.
Samoa Joe running there.
And you just mentioned it, because I totally didn't even realize he wasn't even in that shit.
Well, because he showed up at NXT.
Yeah.
And did what he did, which was a cool moment, by the way. That we forgot to mention.
I was gonna also tell you that I think they did such a cool job by having him go to his home.
Yes. That was awesome.
That was perfect to do.
That was really cool. And by the way, the way that they did it was really cool because he literally came out of nowhere. He was on the mic. The way that they did it was very well done. God bless you.
Thank you.
I really thought that was cool. Triple H had security come out and take him out. But you're right. To not have him at the Royal Rumble when we were thirsting for superstars, I don't know, man. I don't know if that was a good idea.
Yeah.
And by the way, I think Rollins wrestling Triple H is going to bring him back to at least a little bit of a higher status.
No, because him being this good guy is not working for him. Yeah, but him being the good guy is not working for him. He's not that guy. Listen, he became such a big deal when he was playing that heel role. But him being this good guy always with Roman Reigns and helping everybody out, that's not who Seth Rollins is.
Not only that, but he panders to the crowd now also.
Yeah, and he makes corny jokes about, Jericho's, tights and shit, and I don't know, it just everything about what he's doing now, everything that he does not sound like what he used to be.
So let me ask you something. If Goldberg beats Owens, what does Owens do for WrestleMania?
Owens has been doing such a great job. Honestly, I don't know. I think everybody's like, this is why I think WWE is not really paying attention to what they're doing. I think they're just fucking things up. If this is the direction they're heading.
It's a horrible direction.
I think they need to really sit back and say, wait a minute, what are we doing exactly here?
But because even if you have Cena retain the title at Elimination Chamber, that means he wrestles Orton, which is not that great. And also, if you have Bray win the title, it's also not that great of having him fight Orton for the title. I don't know.
Not great either. This is my whole point. I don't know what they're thinking, because that feud. I mean, if Randy goes against Bray Wyatt, who's going to pay a pay-per-view for that? Nobody.
I mean, I think people would be somewhat interested, but not for the title. Not for the title.
Nobody. Yeah, but that's going to be supposedly for the belt. That's going to be the main event and shit. And that's another thing I wanted to talk about. First of all, why the fuck did Cena come out second to fucking AJ Styles when AJ Styles is the champion? He should have came out second.
That's true.
What the fuck is that about, man?
Well, how about the fact that Cena, I think, had the opening match tonight, and AJ was in the main event? How about that?
But still, the champion should always come out as the second guy.
Yeah, but that's not the first time they've done that.
Yeah, but I just don't like it, man. Come on, what the fuck are you guys doing, man? You guys are going backwards on so much shit. The Royal Rumble was just a horrible, backwarded fucking.
Exactly. That's why I say, to me, in my opinion, it was the most. I can't say it was the worst, but it was the most disappointing.
Yeah, just they were. I don't know what they were thinking, man.
It was the most disappointing Royal Rumble.
Is what I want to know. Who booked that crap? Who booked it?
And by the way, I don't know. I know we didn't talk about this at all, but I don't know if you saw the picture. I don't know if it was Laura that posted it, but the picture of Michael Cole, Corey Graves.
Yep, I think it was me.
Who was the other two? Who was the other two white guys?
It was Michael Cole, Corey Graves, Nigel McGuinness.
Yes. Austin Aries.
And then Byron in the background pouting.
But what I saw in that picture was the black guy in the background. That's what I saw in that picture. That's the first thing that came to my mind. It wasn't that Byron sucks compared to the other guys. It was that the black guy was in the background and the four white guys are like, fuck that black guy. That's what it reminded me
Byron
of.
takes so much shit from those guys. I feel so bad for him.
I don't think he's that horrible. He doesn't bother me.
I'm glad you mentioned it. He's not bad. He's not bad at all. Because I like the way
Corey Graves rips him to shreds.
Yeah, I love their back and forth thing. But one thing I have to mention.
Since NXT.
Yes.
Listen, one thing I have to mention, man. They need to get rid of Otunga. Please get rid of him. Because every time there's something big happens, he goes, and there goes John Cena with his maneuver. I really liked it. Like, what the fuck? Like, you sound that relaxed?
He's someone else that doesn't bother me as much.
Dude,
he bothered the hell out of me, dude. Every time he said something, he sounds so...
His line that will always be in my mind from that AJ Styles match. When you see John Cena's vein pulsating, that's when you know you're in trouble.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, what did he say?
He said, when you see John Cena's vein pulsating, the one on his shoulder, to be more exact, that's when you know you're in trouble.
Yeah, and he also even, like, everybody's yelling at the booth, and he's like, oh, and you see John Cena's muscles gouging out. AJ Styles better be careful.
Could you sound any more fucking gayer?
But you know what? I don't know why I don't notice that though. Like, you guys are really paying attention
because you got Mauro Ranallo controlling the conversation. Mauro's just so good, you forget that David Otunga is the shits.
You know, but to be honest with you, I'm not all that crazy about Mauro anymore. I'm sorry.
A lot of people don't like Mauro because he screams too much, and he
I don't know what the guy that has impressed me the most out of anyone is Corey Graves.
Oh yeah,
yes.
Corey Graves.
Yes, Corey Graves is excellent.
Incredible commentator. Really good. And I think he's done with NXT. He's going to focus on Raw or whatever. He has become...
Especially when Enzo came out. Hey, you look at this idiot Enzo. I cannot wait. Go straight to Brock Lesnar. Like, he was like really like selling the fact that he hates Enzo Amore.
He's become a genuine heel commentator, and I love it. He's doing an amazing job.
Sort of. The only thing that bothers me about Corey is that he's a face commentator for 205 Live. So it's like heel, face for one match, heel, face for one match.
Really?
Yeah. Austin Aries is the heel commentary for 205 Live.
Yeah,
Corey's the face.
How many people are they gonna put in that booth? They're gonna have as many people as like the Royal Rumble.
Well, they replaced Byron with Austin Aries back and forth during that.
Yo, the next 2K game is gonna sound so retarded.
Yo, it's gonna be like 30 heads. 30-man commentator. Like, what the fuck is this?
No, but that's another one that's really done a good job is Austin Aries, man. He's really good at it too.
Yeah, he's really good. Yeah.
But out of everybody, seriously, they need to get rid of Otunga. I don't know why he's out there. I have no idea. He doesn't bring anything to it, but he just sounds like very not excited about anything. He just starts. I don't know. You gotta get rid of him, man.
I think he has an amazing contract. That's what I think.
I don't know.
And they just really rip him to shreds with Jennifer Hudson all the time. I don't know.
That's cool.
Speaking of women, this story,
dude. I'm sorry, but that's not cool. That has to be so emasculating for David Otunga to hear all the time.
But he said something. JBL said something about him tonight about his wife. I forgot what it was.
Yeah,
he mentioned something about.
But if you're Otunga, that's gotta be rough, man. Every single week with that.
they're picking on him, but regardless, they gotta get rid of him. I don't care. They just gotta get rid of him.
I see. When I hear them do that to Otunga, I feel that that's being malicious. Yet when Corey does it to Byron, I think it's being entertaining. There's a difference in tone there. I don't know why, but there's a difference.
Oh, and even fucking the Miz said something about his wife. I think tonight.
Exactly. I don't get it.
Like, everybody's in on it.
By the way, the Miz really entertained the hell out of me tonight when he was really on Baron Corbin. Like, he did such a good job tonight until Baron Corbin finally got up and started beating the shit out of the Miz, which I loved, by the way. In the meantime,
Corbin's gotten so much better lately. It's really,
better.
really weird.
In that sense, I agree with Sean a little bit about, that was a big moment for Corbin to take out Braun. I get if they're gonna push Baron, then I get it. If they don't do anything with Baron, then it was a fucking complete waste of time. But if they do something with Baron, then I can somewhat get it that they did that, because he had a good moment there, and he has gotten better.
There are three things on docket.
Yes.
We can either talk about Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor, because that's still being pushed around. The Express that rocks and rolls.
There's no fucks given.
Or JBL masturbating.
I'm going to tell you. Okay,
wait. What was the second thing?
The Express that rocks and rolls, or JBL masturbating.
Express that. Okay, no, I know exactly where you're going with this. I'm going with the second one.
Masturbating. What the fuck?
All right.
Let's talk about
let's cover JBL real quick. JBL posted up a screenshot from the Royal Rumble the other night, and he forgot to fucking close his porn tab. Okay, that's
wait. He had wait. He had a porn tab while he was
the tab says Katka Kiptova nude Google search.
Are you serious? What? He was watching porn. That's how fucking shitty the Royal Rumble was that he went to Pornhub.
This was during the. What was it? The Authors of Pain. This was during the Authors of Pain.
NXT.
Yeah, it was just during the Authors of Pain versus DIY match that he tweeted this out.
JBL was doing commentary? I don't remember him.
No.
He was watching porn. He was there. He was just quiet the whole commentary.
I don't understand what you're saying.
He was watching it on the WWE Network and took a picture of his computer screen and threw it on Twitter. And on Twitter, you see that he's watching the match on the network. He's looking up USA Rugby, and he's looking up a female bodybuilder named Katka Kiptova nude on Google.
Okay, so he was doing this from his hotel room.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was doing it during commentary.
Hold on, I'm looking at the picture. Let me see the picture. I gotta look at this shit. Hold on.
He must have had a stupid look on his face with a big smile, not knowing that he's gonna get caught.
And also, very, very quickly, the rumor is that the Rock and Roll Express are going into the Hall of Fame. Which, okay.
The Express that Rock and Rolls.
The last time we saw Rock and Roll Express, they were hanging out with the Hardys at the compound.
No, I wanted to mention with the. It's not gonna be long, but Conor McGregor had mentioned a couple of times WWE cursed him out. He cursed out a lot of the guys.
He turned out a deal from WWE.
Yeah, it wasn't porn. He was looking up somebody's nude pictures on Google. Damn, he's a pervert.
But
wow.
Did
you see the guy he was looking up, though? Look at the person he was looking up, though.
Yeah, why is he a pervert?
Look up the person he was looking up.
And then he decides to do that when he sees the Author of Pain coming out. Like, what the fuck?
But again,
he likes that kinky shit.
By the way, also very quickly, there's rumors that WWE is going to strictly go with the cruiserweights on 205 Live instead of.
It should be, which that's what it should be.
Yeah.
Of course. What the fuck are you putting him on Raw for? It has no place there. Obviously, nobody's getting in.
That's the chick that he was looking at?
That was the chick he was looking at.
She is ripped.
Yeah.
She is fucking. What the fuck? She's like a man.
Wow.
Yo, you gotta see this shit.
I'm
This
looking
girl
at
look
it.
like.
Wait, send me the link, please. On
it's in the round table.
We have it. It's on the page.
She's a little overbaked.
Yeah.
No, her breast.
First, I want to
like
see that picture of JBL.
Bro. Like,
It isn't a picture of JBL. It's a picture of its laptop.
Right, but it's on the group message, Byron.
All right, I'm gonna check it now.
By the way, but I don't think he's a pervert because he was looking at that.
Looking at that, yeah.
No.
This is what he was looking at when these guys were coming down the aisle.
That's nothing. Wait, hold on. Let me show you.
Okay, wait. In JBL's defense, he was looking at this.
What's the defense there, dude?
No. Hold on. Look at this. Hold on. Look at this and scroll down. There's another picture of her brolic, yo, with no fucking bra on.
But keep in mind, he was looking at this while the Authors of Pain were coming out. So, I mean, do you blame him?
Yo.
The Authors of Pain.
Yo, she has a man chest.
That's what I said. Like, what the fuck?
He has a man chest.
Like Bruce Lee's
No,
chest.
look at the other one I posted. Like, it's crazy.
God, JBL is gonna get shitted on forever.
God, yo, that's perfect material for fucking David Otunga. Oh my god, this guy.
JBL has bigger tits.
Once again, I'll get with the Authors of Pain.
That is painful.
He saw them and was like, you know what? Let me look at body bitch. He's like, look at these two fat guys. Let me go look at my bodybuilder bitch.
Exactly.
Listen. Let me not listen. If this is what you're into, fine, okay, but not for me. That's horrible.
Yeah, I'm sorry to say, but your pictures are not that much better either.
There's no. Listen, for a female, you gotta have breasts, right? She has a man.
She's a bodybuilder.
Okay,
I know.
but
I'm just saying.
I don't know how. Yeah.
You know what breasts are made of? 90% of them are fat. She has basically 0%
I
body
like to
fat.
play with the fat titty.
Yeah, whatever they're made of, I totally go for it. That's all I'm saying.
That's muscle.
We're completely out of time. We want to thank.
Dude, just click the link and scroll down. That's what I gotta tell you. You're gonna see that picture. You're gonna be like, whoa.
I would like to. Wait a minute. I would like to point out that you guys are looking at this. So I don't understand.
I mean,
I'm
but you
shocked,
have to look
bro. I
at
didn't
it.
think
You
a
know
woman
what
could
we're
look like
talking
this.
about.
Yeah, but you're continuing looking at it. I only saw it a little bit.
Like a fucking train
Oh,
wreck.
shut up. Look at it later. Don't lie, man.
I'm
Yeah,
not.
you know you're gonna look at it. You're gonna play with your wang. Get out of here, man. Anyway, go ahead. We out of time.
That's not my thing, honestly. Anyway, we're completely out of time. Bottom line is, to me, in my personal opinion, Royal Rumble was not that great this year, and the way we're headed, I'm not that excited at all about WrestleMania at all.
Yeah, I'm not either, man. It's a disappointing. Disappointing.
I might get on Xbox that day. I don't know. I think I'm gonna watch that shit.
Yeah, I'm not excited about the live, and then in 2 weeks we have the Elimination Chamber. I'm not excited about that either.
Yeah.
But that's basically it. Let us know what you thought about this year's Royal Rumble, which a lot of people have already done, and all the news that are coming out of it. Will Undertaker be at WrestleMania? Will Goldberg win the title? A lot of things that I could care less about, to be honest. But anyway, thank you very much for listening. The man who sleeps on the floor cannot possibly fall out of bed.
I do not want to know what her mouth does.
It's on JBL.
Imagine you spraying her chest. Oh my god.